We'll hear argument first this morning in Case 16-369, County of Los Angeles versus Mendez. Mr. Rosenkranz.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the Court. Your Honors, when a police officer reasonably thinks to himself, as Deputy Conley did here, this is where I'm going to die, he has to be free to make the split-second decision to defend himself and those around him. Any legal rule that says that that is unreasonable is untenable.
You know, I have it is a very moving statement and one that I totally agree with. But we're not asking the police officers to make that choice. When they feel in danger, they're going to take the step that's important to them, and I think that's absolutely right. The issue is who's going to suffer that loss? Who's going to take the financial penalty of that loss, not the death of the officer? And so the question to me is not that one. The question is, when does the police officer pay the victim who is suffering for that loss if the victim had nothing to do with causing the loss?
Understood.
Or was justified in whatever he or she did to protect themselves. So let's take the situation, which I think you concede in your brief, that of the police officer who, in the dead of night, dressed in casual clothes, breaks a window in someone's home and walks into their home. And we've given them a Second Amendment right to victims, people who own homes, to possess firearms to protect themselves. And the victim sees a stranger breaking in who doesn't announce himself, doesn't have a uniform, and is standing there breaking in. The victim shoots that police officer or points a gun at that police officer. And the police officer takes a gun and shoots them and injures them or kills them. Now, who bears the financial loss in that situation? The homeowner who has a right to defend him or herself and say, it's my life or yours, or the police officer who has taken unreasonable action in breaking into a home in the middle of the night without announcing him or herself? That's the question for me.
Understood, Your Honor, and the answer to that question is quite likely the officer, but not because of the provocation rule, but rather because the officer has committed a clearly unconstitutional act, which is not just entering, but also failing to knock and announce, clear violation of clearly established law, which then proximately causes what unfurls next.
Well, let's break that down.